Hi, my name is Khailkapp, and I am one badass motherfucker. I'm just kidding, but I'm not, but I am. You're watching this because I trust you, or because somebody I know trusts you, or because somebody knows somebody who knows somebody. But the point of that is that I still trust you because everything happens for purpose and on purpose, and um, there are no coincidences. So if you're watching this, know that uh, the Lord, the universe, all wants you to watch this right now. So that being the case, um, separate yourself, distance yourself from distraction. Give yourself the next, I don't know how long this is going to go, maybe 15 minutes. I keep believing that it's going to be 5, but I know it's not. Give yourself some time, grab your water, grab a notepad, and before we get into anything, know that there are forces at work in our minds, in our bodies, that are trying to control the way that I give this to you and the way that you receive it. So let's just take a breath and try to shed that little me monster that is just looking out and has some sort of scarcity or need um, because of a hole in the ship or something like that. I'm just gonna take a breath, encourage you to do the same. Press pause and get that stuff ready if you want to, and then we'll move forward. Okay? I don't encourage you. Take the breath. Okay, so don't expect this to be a clean video. This is the 5th one that I've tried to record, and it's apparent how many breaths I had to take that time. But don't take that as any kind of indicator for the value that I want to bring to you and share with you. This value that I bring to you, that I want to share with you completely, is my life's work over the last 3 years. And it's not that I've been working on it for 3 years, it's that I've been living on it and off it and through it for 3 years. And I've done nothing else but use this as my lens and as my sharpening wheel to grow and to help other people grow. No job, no other activities, no selling things on the side, no other income, no other way of life. And for over 2 years, my family and I have been in and out of homelessness, bouncing on people's couch surfing and living in a car and in a tent in the Utah and California and Pennsylvania wilderness. Uh, all the while focusing on what's been flowing through me. And the past few days, I've devoted all my time, and not parenting and things like that, that Airbnb, to just focus on solidifying and organizing this stuff. So uh, that being said, this is an opportunity for you. This is an olive branch of sorts, but I want you to be really, really careful to know that you're not just jumping at this to um, satisfy just your desire. It has to strike you in the right place in your heart, and it has to make you feel, encourage you to want to work with me, to mobilize, to get some coherence, and to give. But I do say that at the same time, knowing that there's a lot to receive as well. So here we go. Be spiritually open to changing, to growing, to allowing, to trusting, to whichever one of those energies you need to feel into. And my work and the good work, all that stuff that's coming and will come through us, will be of highest caliber and highest quality. And that's what we need right now more than ever, is efficient, high quality work that really resonates with the people. So it's March 26th, 2020, and the world is upside down, and the beauty of the mind to make the populace believe that they're doing something good while they're really running from their shadows. And very much of what I'm going to be talking about is that very essence, that very path. But my intuition is perfectly wide open. I feel the energies around me, and my third eye is wide open, and I have tremendous clarity and great excitement bubbling up in me like a champagne bottle, ready to explode, to bring together people and to bring out the work that I've been working on. So what I believe is happening in reality again is irrelevant to the opportunity that this reality is presenting for people like us. So what I want to say is there's tremendous promise and great change about to take place, and I want to usher it in. I want to be a catalyst for that. And if you want to be a catalyst, or you want to help a catalyst, or you want to assist in that kind of way, then you're watching the right video, and follow me a little bit more here. So my vision and what's been on my heart doesn't necessarily have to perfectly align with yours. But if there is some overlap, like I was saying, if you just want to help somebody that helps somebody that does this kind of thing, that could be perfect. So let's just figure out where we align. I want to help everybody, and I am helping everybody that I can express themselves authentically. And the way that I was doing that before was flawed. For about 2 years, I was helping people love themselves and then be themselves. But you can't love what you don't know. You certainly can't be what you don't know. And I could unravel that even more in saying that knowing versus knowing, and this kind of knowing is being, and it is experiential and is unconditionally loving. But I've reframed my system to help people in a one-on-one or in an unretreat or at a play shop instead of a workshop. Stupid little things that I've coined that are going to be really, really beautiful and fire, and people are going to love them. Not just in these speaking events and group coaching and multi-coach group coaching and things like that I'll talk a little bit more about soon. But it has to start from within. And we're living in a day and age where we are all one, thank technology. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And we can create virtual communities that cultivate people's consciousness. And what I mean by that is that we can, like, raising is more of like telling what to do and specifically how to do it, and cultivating is more of having a space and offering guidance, but not really in it needs to be structured sort of way, but there is sort of a loose structure to the nature and the flow of things. And our consciousness, I believe, is no different than a farm. And when you cultivate consciousness, what you're doing is creating the best soil, the cleanest soil, and using this ego side of the coin that we are to be that person of your dreams, to really feel into being here and loving this part of this experience and being 100% human while being 100% divine. And I want to and will, and I'm going to start probably right when I'm done creating this video, creating a virtual community that has the right soil, that has the right vision. And the right sounds so much like the wrong word. Has the most unconditionally loving and accepting space to allow and promote healing and vulnerability and expression and authenticity. And from there to create real communities in real life and live with people and work with people. And from there, the whole world can be watching us just like this, and that'll be a beautiful thing. And they will on YouTube Live and Facebook Live streaming 24/7, where we can create sustainable living that people can go, now I think that actually sort of makes a little bit of sense. I think I can get behind that. That doesn't seem too crazy. I don't know what kind of accent I was going with there, but it turned into prospector, I guess. So let's move along here. if any of that sounds like it aligns with you, in bringing and using technology to create a jobless system where we just get to express, in giving education for free, and completely revamping education, like from the ground up, and allowing children to learn as they naturally want to, understanding how the mind works, and using it and hacking into our bodies and our chemistry, to evolve, teaching people how to tap into their awareness and their potential. And we don't even know what our potential is. Our nervous system is the most intricate and sophisticated system in the universe. I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. As I said, I'm trying to keep this concise, but we're going to change the world. I'm going to do it, and I believe you're going to help me, but we'll see. If you're still watching, perhaps. So this isn't necessarily about making lots of money and taking care of our individual families, although that is part of this. And I think we need to make a lot of money before we can get to a place where money is irrelevant. But it can't be about that. It has to be more about giving and coming together. And that's why I'm creating this. And that's why I'm going out on a limb here, so to speak, with the olive branch analogy. And I'm happy to give away all of my work, because we have to trust each other and we have to work together. So what that looks like, kind of described it: technology, science, spirituality, all working together for the greater good, for human expression, for world expression, to save and to promote and to grow and to heal and to fucking live. God, to live. I'm so spoiled right now because I'm living so much. And maybe I should define. I think I kind of defined authenticity, and love is unconditional, which means that there is no good and evil. There might be like efficient or smart and stupid, but perhaps what is stupid to you is more of my stubborn energy that needs me to roll around in the mud a little bit before I get back up on the horse and carry up some wisdom up there that I can use. And authenticity is an abused word, just like spirituality is, but it just means to me that we all came here to express a certain essence or fragrance, and that we need to clean out a lot of clutter before we can get into that and know what that true expression is, and live from a shameless vantage point, a shameless place to express that. All right. We're the universe. Everything's the universe. It's all God. It's all good. It's all divine. And it's all innocent. On some level, everybody out there is being brainwashed by themselves, by their own thoughts, by the food that they eat, by the systems that they've been indoctrinated into, the religious systems, the school systems, the dumbing down of society, the overeating, the government, and the corporations, and the greed, and the earth polluting, and the separatism, and then the me versus you, and an us versus them thing, and the competition, and it's a lot, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna free them all. So we're both the divine and expressions of the divine. We're both human and God, in 100%. That's the way that I see it. And anything, if you lead back to oneness, then we're on the same page. And anything in between is your own beliefs, and if it serves you, beautiful, and if it doesn't serve you, I'm going to be the guy that's going to come in with truth and say, okay, well, let's shift this in a way that does serve you, because there's nothing coming against us, nothing at all. It's all for us. We just have to Wing Chun that shit. How are we going to do this? I explained consciousness cultivation. Beautiful. Our minds need to be disciplined to receive. They need to be, and not disciplined, but Bruce Lee disciplined. We have to be authenticated. We have to be actualized. We have to be fully actualized as the Kaleist expression that Kale can be, and the youest expression that you can be. Discipline is important because presence is so important. I want to be present always. I want to be aware, always, completely clear. I don't want to be a set of human bagpipes being squeezed by anxiety or shame or blame or fear. We cannot compartmentalize who we are. Well, our thoughts are fueled by our feelings. The feminine aspects of our brain control where the masculine conscious awareness goes. That subconscious is big and it's powerful, and it needs nurturing and cultivation, most likely, unless you were raised in the woods, or by very, very enlightened individuals. And if that's the case, then fucking great, bring some of that energy in. However, yeah, so I want to experience every bit of this. I want to be with all of it, all the storms of emotion that come and go, all the thoughts that well up and come and go, and every little expression that's around with my children and my children's children and your children and everything. I want to be there and see it and experience it all, and you and every conversation. The your children thing sounded funny, didn't it? Reminds me of a joke Dimitri Martin says. Goes, this is good. Interjecting with a useless joke. He says, when people show you pictures of their kids, that's cool. But when you show them pictures of their kids, that's not cool. And he goes, oh yeah, I got a ton of those pictures. That's stupid. Okay. And if that triggers you in a way, we can heal that too. So I believe I explained what's worked for me. It's the fifth one, so I'm not sure. Know thyself, love thyself, be thyself. That's what's going to work. Another part of things another thing that I'd like to share, what has worked for me, is this sword that I carry. And I was given a vision years ago that said that essentially I would cut down every man, woman, and child with this sword. And they would rise back up whole, healthy, better than ever, authenticated, actualized. And it's fucking a crazy vision. I don't usually get them. And this was amazing. And what the sword is discernment, is truth, is it cuts the lies. It gets right to the core. And it's the way that, like, Jesus spoke. He said, he said to the blind man, you can see. He told the paralyzed man not only to get up, but to pick his stuff up too and come with him. And I know that when we believe in this, that it's true, because I've been able to help people with an insane array of illnesses completely cure themselves. I think I mentioned what those are, but they range from all mental health to many physical ones as well. I think I only named two. So really, really, how are we going to do this? We need to create a vulnerable space, which means using each other, which means coming and saying everything that we want to say, and expressing ourselves like as coaches or guides. First off, we know truth, and we know we're not going to spout a bunch of lies on Facebook, most likely, but maybe you're still in this space too, and that's okay. But I would say that there could be some growth there. But the lies would be like, I'm having a bad day. And when we speak that, we're using the Lord's name, I am, in vain. And when we are focusing on the negative, we're wiring our physical minds to experience more of that negative. So it's tough, not only knowing that, but also knowing that we're trying to create an audience that trusts us absurdly, unfairly, that we don't want them to see the smaller sides of us, the weaker sides, the moments of stubbornness or fear or whatever, that anxiety that wells up, because they might not understand it yet. They might not understand that we're still living in these human bodies and having human experiences, and there's always some sort of wisdom down there that we need to get to. But working with people that understand that and try to take themselves out of the space as much as possible allows for fast evolution, epigenetics, baby. We can move very, very quickly. And I know this because I've worked with very enlightened coaches, and it's beautiful to share a space like that. And things work very quickly when the seeker is truly seeking, and you have somebody that's being as unconditionally loving as they can possibly fucking fathom. So creating a space is really how we're going to do this. Everything's and aligned and for good purpose. And we can cultivate each other. We can help each other refine our crafts. Um, I have a lot of skills that I've developed over the years. Um, but my essence to it might be something that you're missing, and I guarantee you, if you're watching this, you've got something for me too. And we don't have to just share and create one system. We can create multiple systems. I'll get to that too. So really, how do we do this? Is first, we need to cover the pyramid, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the physical and psychological, and the status and esteem, belonging needs. These things need to be met. I haven't had most of those met over the last 2.5 years and still got through it. And that's because I'm fucking awesome, but it's also not. It's because I'm resilient, and I just fell and got back up and fell and got back up. But we don't need to fall past that threshold of where suffering is no longer a choice that we can put down. We don't want to take anything too serious, except for maybe our play. I like to be serious about my play. And if I'm going to be serious, I'll be playfully serious. But I believe, and this might resonate with you, and if it doesn't, good job, or you're in denial, one or the other. But we rise and we fall fucking hard, and then we find greatness down there, and we rise back up again, and we fall really fucking hard. And this is part of this like a glider and picking up momentum. This is part of an energy cycle that will always continue to happen. These are seasons. It's nature. However, we can be separate from that, and we fall into that trap, I believe, because we don't have a sustainable, healthy community. And I believe that is, that's the status and the belonging needs. Try taking away the physical and the psychological ones too. Is very, very, very difficult, but it can still be done. But if we have that pyramid met, if we have our basic needs met, if we're paying our rent, if we're feeding ourselves and our family and paying the bills that actually need to get paid, if we feel like we belong to something, and then we can get rid of that little status thing that I don't think is that important, but nurture it in a way that says, hey, in this group of 5, 10, or 50, or 100, or 1,000 enlightened individuals, I am. That's good right there. Okay, so some things that have come to my mind to create this is, right. So if we have those parts of the pyramid met, then we can easily live in actualized and transcended beings much more often. And if we can live in that space more often, then whatever is coming through us constantly will be constantly coming through us, and we'll be aware of it, rather than what was that, or this sucks, I'm feeling anxious today. It'll just have this amazing, beautiful space. So some ideas. YouTube doesn't need a huge audience to provide a decent income for people. Tough part, growing a YouTube channel. Not tough, having 20 people that are all in alignment, that are all feeding into the same YouTube channel, that can grow it very quickly. Tough, organic marketing. A lot of work for one person. Not tough. 20 people organically marketing, sharing the same one common umbrella to bring people back to, sharing with their 2,000 friends, 2,000 friends, 2,000 friends. It grows exponentially when we're working together. Living isn't cheap when we're separate, but if we come together, if you're interested in that kind of thing, if we can make it happen, we can make it happen. If we're in alignment with what truth is and what the fucking purpose is here, then we'll make it work. Living is not cheap separately, but together, pretty darn cheap. It's, now we have one internet bill. Now the electric bill goes up a little bit. Now we have people that can bring different things to the table. Now we have people that can work together to create sustainable living. And obviously the rent or the ownership of said place is a lot easier when we're helping each other. The reason why we live in these houses and these separate yards, and it's just to create more of this dying system whose very success will bring the earth down to its knees and then completely destroy everything. So we're going to change that. I've had the luxury of looking at a few systems too that can work with group coaching and creating, group courses. Like for instance, if you and I are coaching a group of people, or you, me, and maybe 3 other people are coaching a group of people, we only have to go live in that group once a week. However, that group of people is getting live content from what I'm believing are the most spiritually awakened people in existence, from 5 different sources, 5 different flavors, and they can pick and choose from them. I mean, the value is absurd, and then the level of helping and connecting with them is extremely maximized. It's beautiful too. If something hits me and I'm like, shit, I don't know what to do with this. I want to help this person. I feel like I can talk to you about it and say, hey, let me talk to my partner over here, and they're going to talk to you now. It's just so obvious, isn't it? Isn't it? So I believe, or someone believes, that you have something to contribute. Whether it's guidance or coaching or light or shadow work or quantum healing or NLP or hypnosis or some kind of healing modality, or maybe some like more tangible skills like dieting or physical practices like Tai Chi or yoga or whatever. Could be sales, marketing, design, connections. You might have connections, TV, radio, podcasting. Could just be your dreams or desires that you want to bring to the table. If you know how to create nonprofits, I think that that's a really, really good avenue to consider. If you have administrative skills, if you've worked for tax companies, or if you've worked in government, if you understand infrastructure or medicine or plant medicine, if you know how politics work, if you know how to live off the land, if you own land or facilities or vehicles or know people that own these things, then let's fucking talk. Let's talk. Let's just talk. I'm not gonna manipulate you into doing something that you don't want to do. Let's just be real. Let's put that down, that fear, that anxiety of like what's in it for me, and let's look at what's in it for we as the collective, and move forward. All right. Just how you can contribute, we will discuss personally, you and me. But everything happens for a reason, as I was saying. So if you're watching this, it's by divine design, baby. So let's move forward. So I'd like to show you now what I'm doing. I know this has gone on for a while now, this video. So you can actually stop it right here if you want and just shoot me a message on Facebook, or email Khailkapp, KHAILKAPP @gmail.com, and let me know that you're in, and let me know what you think, how you felt about this. And you can even comment below how you felt about it too. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this video public just yet, especially because I'm about to show you the behind the scenes part, although it's very simple as it is. But you don't have to watch it right now. You can just let me know if you're in. If you want to just give me feedback, you can do that as well. Don't think that it's the voice that needs to be heard. Kale wants to hear it. Just go ahead and give me feedback. So this is what I am believing is the current way. Let's It looks backwards on my camera right now, and if it is, well, you're going to be challenging another aspect of your brain that you probably didn't think you were going to by watching this video. So this is the structure here. First, people need a desire, and everyone has a desire. It's just about connecting with that desire. And once you really start to connect with people's desires, there's a special energy here that I'm going to tell you about that is something that I discovered, but you got to know this. People need to shift from a freedom from a problem to get to a freedom to space. Now, instead of hunching over for the next 5 minutes, I'm just get in a chair. Most people think they want a freedom to, but you'll find that they just want a freedom from. And you have to get them to connect with that freedom to energy. Otherwise, they are not going to go through this whole process with us. So what that looks like is I wanted freedom from anxiety. I wanted freedom from my problems, and I never got it. It took until I was like 27 years old before something snapped in me, and I said, I just want to be happy. And I was just like, I've never actually thought about life that way. So I don't want to trail too much, but desire, you connect with their desire, and the next thing we are going to do as of right now, this beautiful structure that's flowing through me, is define light. But that L in light is tiny on purpose. And that's because as bright and as beautiful and as wonderful as this expression that's coming through them, the light in them, the good in them that they love about themselves, it's still being filtered through a bunch of nonsense and lies on some level. I just had a release today. I just healed something today, and I will be healing that over the next week or so. I know it. So the light it can always be more, but it's good to help them connect with that, and then get them to connect with a big why, something outside of themselves. But again, this is something that's very, very limited. But you want to encourage and bring the flies in with honey, as they say, right? Is that the right thing to say? That doesn't make any sense because flies like shit. Never mind. Look, but it's good to start with the good. The next thing I call is absolution. We need to absolve them of all sin. We need to tell people that they've been fed a snake eating its own tail of like, well, I'm going to do this. If I don't do it, I'm going to feel guilty. I feel guilty if I do it. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. And then I'm going to kind of perpetuate. I'm going to complain about it anyway. And the moment that I have exactly what I want, I'm going to look for more. There's so much woke energy that needs to go into this that I have a lot of great resources. But that's what I would call woke is educating, re-educating, helping them understand too that helping them know that they're not their thoughts or their feelings, that getting that separation, that takes work. That'll come as we move through this thing. And that's the difference that I would say between woke and being awake. But who gives a fuck about that? The next thing is the dim shadow, which again is like, we're gonna look at what's tough in your life, what's dark, and it could be fucking crazy. I've helped people that are products of pedophilia, that have children that were molested. I have helped people that, oh my gosh, grew up in prostitution, or grew up with their parents prostituting, alcohol abuse, being abandoned, and sex trafficked, and drug addicts. Like, I've helped a lot. So this shadow, though, is still dim. Otherwise, they'd be an actual being, an actualized being. But we give them that opportunity to get some of that, express some of that stuff to us. And then we get into the real nitty gritty, which is the dark night of the soul, which is the most beautiful experience you can give and work with and through, where you see all of these bad energies, but realize how they're everything that you've wanted, and how that they're perfect for you, and how most likely this is the underneath the water of the iceberg, where you've been trying to cage this elephant. But when we release it and give it healthy outlets, and help you to understand the good in it and its purpose, you become so fucking whole and full and turbocharged. And then we teach integration. We show them how to integrate their dark and their light to be one. And then we give them the sword, and that is the sword of truth or discernment, and helping them now navigate their way, going forward with a lens that discerns righteously. Then it's the way, and that is personal for everybody, but helping them come up with a discipline and a lifestyle that continues to nurture and cultivate this authentic integration that they are new to as human. And then sharpening the sword, which is deeper diving into the spiritual wisdom that resonates with them. And then there's this mountain that has some sort of physics defying going on foreverness that I just drew in a second, that has more to do with like the guidance and the personal touches, and working together intuitively, divinely, whatever comes out of that. So this is the system, and I put a ha there because although this is how my mind wants to do it, every time I approach a client, this is another good little thing for you, or I'm the client, I just let go of everything, and whatever comes up, that's where we start. So when clients come to me, I just let them go. I just try to get them into a clearer space, and then whatever comes up, that's where we start. Because whatever it is that's holding them back is here right now. It might look buried, but the sword cuts right to it. There is it's coming out in the way that they speak. It's coming out in the specific words that they're using. These parapraxes, these breadcrumbs that the ego is leaving for us, so that it can begin to relinquish its power over this divine vessel that it is protecting. And that's the way that I look at it. That it's like training wheels for your consciousness. So what can you do? You can bring your essence to this. You can work into this structure. You can add to it or take away from it, or create your own offshoot of this. But come together as a master and a mastermind and work with us. You can bring tips and your own creative force and services. If you have like to read tarot cards, or you're a healer of some kind, or you see insertions for particular modalities through here, like just fucking bring it. Maybe you're a healer of healers. Maybe you just want to help me, and fuck, I love you. Come on in. So this was a lot longer than 5 minutes. It's 35 minutes. I love you so much. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment. Reach out to me. Share whatever you want to share. Share this video. If you think that there are other people out there that need to get connected with to this, people with powers or power, people with desires or dollars or whatever. If it's on your heart, like, gosh, I felt like sharing this with somebody, then go ahead and share it. I guess I got nothing to hide, and really, I guess I will make this video public now that I think about it. If I'm ready for you, I'll let you in. If I'm not, I'll happily tell you why. But most likely, if you're watching this, then it's time to move forward. It's time to ascend, my brothers and sisters. So let's do this. How much longer can I trail this video? Thank you. Thank you. I think I've said enough. I have so much more, though, for you. And I can't wait to bring you into this. Peace.